Hello! I think I'm live now. I'm not sure if I'm live or not. Let me double check. A triple check, double check, double check, triple check, double check, triple check. But the point is that, hello! We're here to do a tier list for the 2025 era, and I've got to triple check my stream, make sure my stream is okay. I think everything looks okay. I think that streaming earlier was just a bad idea. But I have to stream earlier because I'm going to go see Sonic 3 today, guys. Sorry for the early stream. But regardless, let's actually get into it. Today we are doing a tiered list of all of the, maybe not every character, but we're going to be talking about the meta. And we're going to be ranking all the legendary cards. We're going to be doing the fun thing that I like to do every once in a while. Hopefully people will be here soon. And I'll stop being self-conscious and worrying about if I'm just nervous that I, should have streamed at my normal time, but my birthday is today. My birthday is tomorrow, so regardless, let's start by talking about what was one of the best decks last season. Antibody Activation was one of last season's top decks, and it got, massively buffed. Time for a pretty sus tier list. We'll see how we can do. Are my tier lists usually questionable? You guys will have to help me. You guys will have to help me do a good job. And tell me if I'm, messing up entirely. But I think that, Antibody Activate, and also, tell me if the music is too loud. We're listening to some Blaze Blue tunes, and in the last tier list, you couldn't hear it at all. So we're trying to get the vibe right before we get too far into this, But, that said, I think Antibody is actually Red's best deck. I think that Red is really strong right now. But, maybe we should actually talk about, the really, really powerful things to really make it make more sense. Just throwing Antibody up here first doesn't really make the most sense. Let's talk about the deck that people want to talk about. Yawn. This is, just so we can make some sense of the tier list, we're talking about the current 2025 TEPPEN meta. In ranked, it's pretty dominated by this being the deck that's kind of setting the pace of the entire meta. It's got the ability to slow down, and nothing can really get too powerful with Leafen and Harpooia, shutting down any plays that you're going to try to make, keeping you in check. The momentum is unreal. It's got big combos with Cacti and infinite recursion with Natsu. This is a hard deck to beat, and rather than, choking out the meta and being frustrating, this deck has kind of led us to a very diverse place where it has lowered the OTK potential of the meta, it's lowered the power ceiling a little bit, and made it so more things can compete. I actually really like the Yawn meta for what it's doing. It's a pretty open meta. That said, I think that Antibody does not have a very good Yawn matchup, but I think it's probably Red's best chance to beat it. The other option for Red, I just want to start talking about the stuff that's on my mind. The stuff that I think about is these decks right now. Because everybody for a little while was saying that this was a red-green meta, and these were the decks that were making it feel that way. Of course, actually, let's wait to talk about Hadoken for a second. Where's Thunder Edge? That's a new deck that got a ton. That was the most popular deck week 1. Should I try to go in order? That's kind of harder. That's kind of really hard. I don't think I can go in order. Where's Thunder Edge? These are all out of order. Oh my gosh. Okay. Thunder Edge, I think, is a deck with a lot of cool plays. It does a lot of cool stuff. But there's problems with it. There's big problems with Thunder Edge, and that is that it kind of thrives on these 9 MP plays. It has one of the best win conditions in Red, probably the best win condition. Hardballer just ends the game when you can get to a 9 MP Hardballer. Unless you're fighting Yawn. Yawn can reset your Hardballers. It can turn them to 1 MP, 1 attack. So as good as Thunder Edge is for climbing the most of ladder, it's not going to get you all the way there. And I should kind of explain my my tiers here. I kind of just wanted to jump into it because I'm very, very distractible, and it just felt like the thing to do was just to jump right in. But for me, tier 1 is going to be the most represented decks. Not just the decks that are like this. It is really the decks that are the strongest. For me, the tier 1 decks are going to be decks that are popular for everybody, but also the decks that can actually get to the very, very top ranks. So recently we saw Thirsty climb to 2200 with Yawn, and he posted like a ton of really useful information about Yawn's matchups and how he's doing well with it, and the struggle points and stuff, but it really reads to me like this is the deck that's setting the pace of the meta. So decks that can compete with it are, I think Antibody kind of competes. We might drop it down lower later. But let's talk about the other really strange, interesting deck of the season that has emerged as a potential fighter, a potential counter to Yawn is the Shadow Blade. We're just starting with the top tier decks. I don't know if that's the most interesting thing, but that's what I want to do. I want to talk about the decks that are really controlling the game right now. Shadow Blade with Jury and a lot of other generic options has suddenly emerged as one of the top tier options for purple. It's kind of the synthesis of all of the new cards that we got from Metal Suit Mafia, like these powerful aggro cards like Evax and Leviathan are. Let's listen to this cool harp solo really quick. This cool whatever that instrument is. It's like a string, maybe. Maybe it's a harpsichord. Is the music hearable? Hopefully. Choral Orchestra is gonna be on the tier list. Choral Orchestra is really good, and it's really popular. But first we're gonna talk about the few decks that can actually get up to 2200 points and above. The decks that can top the ladder, not just the decks that can get you to 200,000. Not just the decks that can rank 100, but the decks that can rank 1. That's what I have in tier 1. It's the decks that I think can hit rank 1. Obviously, I'm not a player with the potential to do that, but I believe that these are... What's up, Oracle and Necro? I love seeing some people show up. I was worried about streaming earlier, but I had to stream earlier today because I'm going to the movies tonight. Gonna see Sonic. I'm excited. But anyway, I think that Shadow Blade with Jury, but not with all of the old SR life gain stuff, rather with the new Metal Suit Mafia cards like Leviathan, Evax, Azai Namas something, to summon the Evax, and Erato to really just give you like an unwinnable... I think we're gonna put. I think I'm gonna try to put them in order, but we'll see if it stays that way. I always try to put cards in order, yeah. So let's keep going. I think Red deserves some respect. I think that Shinku Hidoken is also one of Red's best decks, but I don't know. I personally don't know if it's better or on the same level as Antibody. I think it's popular right now. Because it has a good Yawn matchup, so at the very least it's going to be at the very top of tier 1.5. I'm glad people are here. I'm glad I picked an okay time to stream. We'll move these around later, probably. But Burn. Hadoken, I'm talking about Burn. I'm talking about, what are those cards from? Those cards are from not TB. Well, I don't remember the set they're from. I think they're from SR. The SR Burn cards. No, they're not from SR. Whatever set they were from. Let's throw Dive Attack up here. Because Dive Attack, in its nerfed form, there's kind of better options. Like, I don't know if I'd put it that low, but there's kind of better options, honestly. Antibody is better? Okay, nice. That's what I felt like. I love having some input from chat. It helps me feel like I'm on the right track with where things are going. But yeah, Antibody with the huge buffs last season. It's the deck that's stronger in the hands of top players, while I think a majority of players are suddenly turned on to Burn as a good way to beat Yawn. But if you can, Antibody is better. Let's talk about, let me think, what was Kame-san playing with this? Kame-san did a video on this one recently. It's definitely better than Antibody? Wait. see that last part of your message. It's covered up. Let me check here really quick. Meow, meow, meow. Up in my head, what it was. So I think it's not better than OBS. Reconnection successful. Did I disconnect? Is everything okay? I hope everything is okay. I think there's better options than Blackout. Let's see. What are the other things that are really interesting? This is like an okay deck, but I don't think it's really impressing me. Bringer of Nightmares, I think, is too slow to keep up with these really powerful red and... Like, if you're going for a late game against Yon, it's terrible. And you're not going to beat the aggro decks, and you're not going to beat Antibody, which is the mid-range deck. I kind of love these as the top three. We got a control deck, an aggro deck, and a mid-range deck. It makes sense. It's a well-diverse meta. So let's throw up Black's best deck. I don't think it's better than Burn. I think Black is the worst color. It's not super controversial to say that. But it's definitely part of the meta. It's definitely still solid. You know, I do think it's a little better than Burn. It's more popular, at least. You see it a lot. Well, Burn is like... I don't know. It's kind of a toss-up here. Burn is really popular right now, so for now I'm going to give it... And then I kind of want to move on to the flippin'... How long since Ouroboros was tier 1? It's been a hot second. Ouroboros is back, though. Ouroboros... Let's talk about Ouroboros, because it's interesting to talk about. Ouroboros hit rank 1, week 1. It was the first, like, deck where people were like, whoa, this is stronger than we thought. It hit rank 1. Gotta take this seriously. But it's really slow. I mean, it's very counterable, and the big weakness is disarms, and Yon is suddenly all in on 3 disarms, because it's needed for every matchup. And Ouroboros dies hard to that. I think it's a little worse than Thunder Edge. We might even move Thunder Edge up, but I think Thunder Edge has major problems. I wish I could rank it higher. Blazing Wall, Energy. I love this deck. We're talking about Energy with Fafnir and using Chairperson to get your summons off of Fafnir to summon solos, and it's pretty strong. I think that this deck is not bad. It's probably not better than Bringer of Nightmares, though. And then some of these are not super relevant. Let's talk about Choral Orchestra. This is super popular, and people keep trying to cook with it, but I don't know if it's quite... I kind of think Uro is Rogue. I'm going to leave it at the very, very bottom of tier 2, but we'll see. I think it's part of the meta. I think it puts up, like... Sure, those were week 1 results, but it still did hit rank 1. I mean, I guess maybe I'm putting too much stock in that. I would want to move something else here down then. Because Uro is very solid. Choral Orchestra, I feel like, is easily just on the brink of... Energy would be good if Fafnir had Rush. Unfortunately, yeah, the deck is really way too fair. I don't know why they didn't make him better. Because all of the other two... I don't think we got a Shadow... a Shadow Phantom. I don't think we got Shadow Phantom. But the other two of the Sages... Harpuia and Leviathan are insane. Fafnir did not get the same privilege. But Choral Orchestra, I guess, because there's 2 versions, right? There's there's really only one, isn't there? There's the 2-color. I don't think it's on the same level as these other decks. I think it's probably going to be the best thing we put in tier 2. I think there's a slight power gap, you know? I think that Choral Orchestra... I mean, that green-purple version is insane. But it's not quite as well-rounded, you know? It has weaknesses. It's got to play at that certain pace, and it's really defined... I don't know. I'm just trying to cope. Well, I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm going to leave it at the top of tier 2 for now. Oh, wait. I was talking about Black. I said I put the best Black deck up there. No, I did not. Despair Whale and Perish is the best Black deck, right? That I feel pretty sure about. I almost want to give it the bottom of tier 1, but I think that there is a slight gap. I think that it is a little bit weaker. But we saw Harambe Bay recently get, I think, 2100 with it. Regardless, he was doing really solid with it, and posted a deck that's probably the strongest Black deck is all I'm really getting at. If you're a serious Black player, you're either playing Spike Launch or Despair. And Despair is a little harder, so it's not quite as popular as Spike Launch, so it's kind of a toss-up to me, which is higher. Let's see. Oh, Heart Tank needs to be rated. This is a tier 2 deck. This is about on the level of Ouroboros. But it's a low tier 2. So see, now that we're looking at these, I think that these should probably move up a little bit. Or there should be another tier, yeah. Yes, we have more support from Oracle. More support to decide things. Do we need another tier for tier 3, or do we just move some things down to Rogue tier? I don't know if Bringer's that relevant. I'm going to take this off for now. We'll see if it goes back up there, but it's not, you know, the most relevant thing. I want this tier list to really speak more about what the meta is, rather than trying to get everything on there. Unless I make another lane for irrelevant stuff. But let's see. But yeah, like I was saying, the best black deck has got to be Despair Whale of Perish, and I don't think it's quite tier 1. I think because it's so much less popular, it's so much slower, it doesn't really work as well for as many players, so I think it's going to be right here. What's up, Dragoon? Let me think. What else do I want to... Oh, E and I. That's kind of relevant. That's very relevant. Okay, wait. Let's put some more purple up here. And Ebony and Ivory is the Explore deck. I think it's better than Choral Orchestra. I think the Explore deck is really scary, but it's a little slow. And it doesn't have that power level of the other purple decks we're talking about. I put Heart Tank and Rogue, but it's... Maybe you're right. In that case, I want to have another tier for... Because I think that these two decks are part of the meta in a certain way. Well, let's just call it tier 3. Let's keep it simple. Why can't I scroll? Okay, there we go. Okay, yeah, because I think those decks are part of the meta, but they're not quite on the same level. And then that gives us more room to rank stuff as Rogue. I'm just always somebody who believes in there being like a tier 1, a tier 2, and then off meta. That's kind of my picture of it, but we need to be more descriptive. Let's see, Devil Breaker. I'm excited to rank Devil Breaker. Where do you guys think I'm going to put Devil Breaker? Man, this deck. The ultimate OTK deck. This deck's got all the combos. The second that Chun-Li comes down, it's over, dude. In my dreams. I can't even make a good argument for this as a joke right now because Yawn is so powerful. There are better aggro decks. You're just going to get blown up. The Chun nerfs mattered. A little bit. That's really not what mattered. It's more the new cards that mattered. Heart Tank is basically trying to do everything Yawn deck wants to do, but slower. Oof. I guess so. I don't see the similarities, really. There's no... There's a little bit of damage, but otherwise I don't really see it. Dude, those quest that Quest Storm Owl deck is probably my least. Like, you would think as a dedicated X player I would have loved that era, but that was tier 0 X. If we were talking about that, X would have his own tier. If we were talking about Super Spooky Village, X would have his own tier, and it wouldn't be, and nobody else would be in the tier. But thankfully, we already have multiple things in the top tier. Yeah, Devil Breaker really can't compete. I'm going to put it below Ashura, because Kame-san played Ashura, and you're not seeing Kame-san play Devil Breaker. None of us are playing Devil Breaker. Because honestly, we'll put Charge Shot up here just because I love it. But there are better options. Let's see, what else is important that we really... Ooh, I want to rank Shield Spire. This is what I'm playing right now. This is what I've been playing from the last stream. This is the same deck I played in the last stream. But I think Tribes, I really like Tribes. Tribes is not bad at all. We'll just put it in tier 3. Are any of these relevant? Do any of these need to be up here? Kind of better options. You should be playing Despair, I think, if you play that. I think that... Oh, wait, this is Despair. Okay, Dark Invitation and Spike Dive Bomb we'll put right next to each other. Oh my gosh, I got, like, all of the hero arts wrong. I placed, like, all of the things incorrectly. That's not what I want up there. I want this one up there. Okay, let's see. Is that what I want? This one is Despair Whale Parish, yes. Okay, now things are making a little bit more sense. Now that we've got, like, all the decks, mostly. So let's see. What do we just put up here? We just put Frenzy up here. Frenzy kind of struggles. Frenzy's got a deck with a really high... Shield Spire is better Heart Tank, but they're different decks. I should explain. When I rank a deck, when I rank something up here, I'm talking about the deck that it has in the meta, and not just the hero art in a vacuum. I'm talking about the deck that belongs to this hero art. So for Yawn, that would be the Yawn Ascension deck. If you're choosing to play Big Green with Yawn, then it's worse than Heart Tank. Not just by playing Yawn do you get to be tier 1. You have to be playing Yawn Ascend. And when I'm talking about Heart Tank, I'm talking about Big Green as a whole. You could be playing a different version of Big Green with, like, Hyakuretsu Kyaku. Let's put Hyaku up here, just for fun. Better than Devil Breaker. What else needs to be up here? I don't think that needs to be up here. Fight Against Inner Demons is kind of good. Guy Armor, there's better options for tribes, but you can play it. This should be higher. This should almost be in Rogue tier, but maybe not. It's hard to decide, you guys. Oh, Tenkuha. Tenkuha I want to give a pretty good second, but it kind of doesn't have the power of these other versions. I think I would almost put it right below. I mean, it's really good. So Locke. Locke has a lot of strengths. Locke is a great aggro deck, but it's kind of been eclipsed by the Shield Shadow Blade version, which does everything it does with more versatility and more power. So there's almost no reason to play Tenkuha, except that it's really, really fun. And works better with, like, Bug Rancher and stuff. Like, if you're playing a Bug Rancher deck, if you're all in on Locke, you're probably playing Tenkuha rather than Shadow Blade. Worse than Shadow Blade. Is it better than Explorer, though? I don't know which of the two purple decks, if Explorer or Tenku is better. Explorer is more popular now. And I think it's better than Choral Orchestra, so there. Yep, I'm not questioning anything else being higher than Shadow Blade. Shadow Blade being the second deck on the list is me trying to be, like, on the cutting edge of paying attention to the meta and stuff. Like, I actually know what's happening. Shadow Blade's good right now, you guys. And if I had made this tier list a week ago, I would have not made Shadow Blade relevant. So let's see, does anything else need to be up here? We could put this up here under better options, just because it's cool. Oh, Raging Demon? Raging Demon is a cool rogue deck. I think it's better than Hyaku. Do these hero arts have any decks? I still think Explorer is slightly better than Locke. Yep, Explorer is better. Tenku lacks control, Glass Cannon deck. Yeah, it's kind of relying on your opponent, like, not getting in there. I might be overrating it a little bit. Yeah, Coral's got the more well-rounded game plan. Let's put it below Coral. It almost gets, like, the bottom of tier 2, right? Is it better than Thunder Edge? I think it's better than Thunder Edge, actually. Thunder Edge has some issues. I'm gonna be super honest. Like, I want to, like, obviously I'm really positive about the game and stuff, but I can't always be positive about every hero art This is like where I will be honest. Like any meta, I will say, oh yeah, it's a good meta. I like it. But okay, wait, let's see. This is a way you can play Explore. Let's move this up a little bit. This is a fine deck. Better than Devil Breaker. Change Form doesn't have a shell. That would be Frenzy, but bad. Devil Trigger was played. Devil Trigger's playable. Okay, there's so much stuff in Rogue that I kind of want to move some things up, but we'll see. Halt deck is dead due to Green Ascend. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, we have to put that up here, but it's not very good, is it? I feel like I want to give it Rogue tier because it is like a fully formed deck that has a signature hero art and a powerful game plan to run. But it just really struggles in this meta. I wouldn't say there's any better options for this, but I would put it at... I think the only thing I can do is put it at the very, very bottom of Rogue. Shadowblade doesn't get rated. Darkness Illusion doesn't go on the tier list. Unless we make an unplayable... Okay, let's see. Dendron needs help. That needs help. Let's see. Coil Orchestra needs help. Quicksilver. It's just better options. Rocket Launcher. See, I don't want to put all of these on there. It kind of dilutes like the meaning of the tier list. Like trying to rank everything, like you guys see what I mean, right? Like I want to have this paint a clear picture of the meta and not just be me trying to rank every single thing. So let's see. Devil Trigger goes to better options. Let's see. Where did I put Devil Trigger? Oh, I put it really high for some reason. Okay, it's better than Fade. It's better than those. I think there's gonna be a lot of stuff in better options if we keep rating stuff. Move Dive Attack up. Because generously, it could be a tier or two higher. It could be a tier higher, but there are better options. You should play Shinku. Nothing for that. Okay. True Power. Help needed. Tempt is not bad because of Green Ascension. You have no units to halt. Also, yeah, it's terrible. Also, Red has cards to bounce units back to... Yeah, it's impossible to get the game plan going. It is... Maybe it should be lower, even. But at the bottom of the Rogue kind of implies to me that it could be even lower. Because tiers are ordered on my tier lists. Let's see. Help needed. Yeah, help needed here. Quicksilver, there's just better options. Oh, I'd rather leave it off the tier list, honestly. It's not that relevant. Rocket Launcher. Solid, but there's better options. I feel like I see people playing... Oh, wait. The reason I see Rocket Launcher is because it's explored for in purple. Yes! They're, like, some of these are playable. Like, True Power... It's playable, it just needs more cards. When I say help needed, I mean these decks could use some more cards. Let's see, what else goes up here? I think there's just slightly better options for Hey Nico. It goes next to Fight Against Inner Demons, me think. And this was buffed, but it still kind of didn't do anything, really. I can't believe I'm ordering this tier that's supposed to be irrelevant. Blackout? Oh wait, yeah, Blackout is a pretty good... Blackout is a good option with Explorer. It's a good option for Explorer. And it doesn't counter Yawn, though. If it countered Yawn, I would really respect it. I'll put it above Temptation. In fact, there's a couple things here that it's better than. Let's see. Okay, these ones I think I'm going to leave off the tier list. Taking that off. Doesn't need to be there. Alright, Oracle's vouching that Blackout's pretty strong. I can believe it. We can definitely put it at least on the level of these other rogue decks. Alright, let's just take stock of what we got. Yawn is the best deck, that's for sure, followed by Shadowblade Antibody. I think that's okay. Despair is kind of being overrated, right? I just want something to be up here for black. But I think it's more like that. See, 1.5 looks a little unnecessary. Does anything else move up to that tier? Or move down? I mean, I do think that those decks are a little better than the tier 2 ones. Scroll Orchestra on this level? I think it's like that. Yeah, I guess it can target most of the relevant units. Oh, and it keeps them off of their graveyard. Okay, let's see if there's anything else that I rated low that should be higher. Let's see. This is the part where I get really in the weeds about it, and I'm like, oh, it's got to be so accurate, you guys. It's got to really capture the meta so good. Which is better? Thunder Edge is a little better than Tenku. Okay, let's look around over here. Blazing Wall above Dive Attack, I do believe in that, but I believe it should be a little lower. Hyaku's just here for a meme. Honestly, it's just here because it's funny. I don't know if I should actually have it up here. Heck it, I'm leaving it there for some personal flavor to make my tier list unique and wrong. But I know it doesn't belong there. Alright, we're moving Temptation down to Help Needed, because realistically, yeah, it struggles a lot. It struggles bad. I almost want another tier. Nah, we'll just leave it here. I'm getting in the weeds about it, though. I guess we might want to come back to this. Let's see. Does anything move up? Okay, let's see. Sorry, I hope you guys don't hate this part, but I always do this. We'll move on to the next tier list in just a moment. Well, then I should be honest and move this down too. No, we'll leave them both up here. Do we need another tier, or is this does this look good? I'm still curious. I'm not totally certain. Let's move on to the other cards. Alright, it's time to rank legendaries. We're gonna try to blast through core because, you know, it's frickin' core. Ryu's a little irrelevant. He's about a B+ right now. Like, what's he really in? Rathalos is seeing more play than Ryu, if I'm being honest. But Ryu is the better card. So I'm gonna give them both B+. Alright, we're moving on. We'll come back to recap later and do more digging for the answers. This card blows. Yeah. Alright, Hadoken, kind of irrelevant. Nobody really runs it. You're so tight for deck space that you're not going to make room for this card. X, he doesn't have a deck that he goes in anymore. He's like a low D tier card. Chun-Li, people like to play with her. She can kind of show up and like scare people. That doesn't do anything. This definitely doesn't do anything. Except, I was having a lot of fun with this card, actually. Ryu is an antibody? I don't know if he is, though. Devil Breaker's not a bad deck. Alright, I'll leave it in Rogue tier. It's not bad. I'll take Hyaku off the tier list. That's not really like a thing. Well, you know, I like it. I'm gonna leave it on there. Because that's why I'm gonna give Soul Offering a little higher than F tier. Because you can use it with Hyaku. And the legendary Yuri to cheese people. We did it. It was really awesome. Okay, he's gonna get an A tier for now, but not much higher. And I'm probably overrating Rathalos, but you know, we're gonna try to move along. Try to make things happen. Morrigan Legend did get buffed, but it's still only okay. It's not really seeing play. We'll give it the very bottom of C, and it'll probably stay at the very, very bottom of C. Because, you know, I've seen people do cool stuff with it. I've seen, I forget, I think it was Gikosha or somebody like that. Somebody from chat, that I recognize from the community, beat me up with, like, double Lilith in this. Oh, it was with the Twins, though, and I think the Twins has rotated? I don't remember. Regardless, let's keep ranking cards. Devil Trigger is nutso. This card is scary as heck. There's so many dangerous targets for it in that new, in the Shadow Blade deck that we gave a really good ranking to. You can drop it on Jury, you can drop it on Evax, you can drop it on even Erato because she has Veil, can win you the game for sure. Oh, but the obvious one is on Leviathan, where it like literally wins you the game. This is a card that you need a seal for immediately or you lose. The card is everything that Devil Trigger Dante wishes it was. Brainwashed? Purple is like eating super good right now, but Brainwashed is kind of not showing up. I'll give it a B tier because it's a good card. I should probably do the same for this. The funny Wesker. The funny Wesker is the king of D. He's the D Meister. The rankings for the cards are going to be based off of how good the cards are right now in current decks. If they're in multiple decks, ignoring any changes, no, it's based on how good they are right now. Sorry, so, some of them have like their old version. Like this Morrigan doesn't reflect her current status. I just haven't updated the images I have uploaded. That's kind of a little extra. Maybe I should have, but you know, it's kind of a little extra. So yeah, I think this Lilith is kind of still relevant because fours is kind of still, you can still play fours if you want to. Now that we're done talking about the top meta, we can talk about like cards that are just for fun, and Morrigan is pretty good on like a having fun level. This card's unplayable. Spreading Infection is alright, but it's really slow, and there's better ways to ascend, I think. Not super necessary. Blood Destiny, you can play it in Frenzy and do a funny Frenzy combo that will get you killed, but will still impress your opponent. They'll be like, oh my god, Blood Destiny player, the coolest dude on ladder. So play it if you want to impress your opponent. This is a solid card. It's kind of fallen off a little bit. We'll give it the very bottom of B. But that, nobody's really doing the attack from above thing anymore. There was a while where people were giving this card Flight and Thunder Edge, and then you lose when it gets Flight. But I don't think there's enough good other targets for attack from above. And I guess the real reason people aren't doing it is because Yawn would keep such a combo in check. But I can still dream of the days where people did such horrible things to each other. Let's throw this up there. It's pretty good, but it's really memey. And I mean, are we really doing this in the Yawn meta? And what red deck is doing this? You could do it in growth, but it's really inconsistent. It's really, really slow since you're shuffling stuff back into your deck. You could do it in burn, but burn doesn't really have the space. I don't know. I think people just aren't using this card right now. So I'm going to give it a B tier. I'll give it the bottom of B+. The card is broken as heck, but it's just not being used really right now. We're about to rank something that's going to go really high. It's not this guy. It's not Batsu. I just wanted to look up there, see what was there. Nothing yet. Batsu is fine. Yeah, Harpooia alone makes it so red can't go big anymore. That should probably mean I should move this down a little bit. Let me think. Okay, I think this is right so far. Let's rank what is going to be our best legend that we've ranked so far. This counters everything, and it's in the best deck, and it's super efficient, and it's a nightmare. When it hits the board, you will surrender most games because you just got ran out of everything you were doing just became irrelevant. And your opponent just leapt way ahead because they triggered their yawn, and they also got some shields now, and you're just SOL. This card is the game ender for the current season. This is the most relevant green card that we're getting. I don't know what else is going to go into S tier off the top of my head. I don't even think that the new flashy 10-drop gets into S tier. So you guys will have to tell me if I'm wrong about that, but I think that's the current best green card. Cammy used to be like almost an A+ tier card, but that's because she was in Devil Breaker and True Power, and neither of those decks really exist anymore. There's really nothing that's really playing her. Also, Leafen, also kind of a nightmare card to deal with. It ain't easy out here being a buff player, being a player who likes to buff cards. Cammy's good, but she's not like doing much right now. I think there's going to be a lot of stuff in B. Now, antagonists, we have to be honest, this is still an incredible card. As much as we're like talking about how stuff has been reined in because of these other broken things, not so much the case for antagonists. Antagonists is still insane. Like, just because Thirsty Games doesn't play antagonists doesn't mean it's not Green's like second best legendary. Kyosuke is a bane on the meta right now. Yeah, that's a lot. Now this card, I'm kind of... What's this card's name? Roaring Engines, Akira? No, that's a really old card. This is the card that leads the charge. Let me think, though. Is this still in the... I can't remember if this is in the current version of that top tier deck, but it's better than... I think this is an A+ tier card, right? It's in that deck we've been talking about for a little bit, the Shadowblade deck that we've been talking about. I think it's in that. I'm getting a little antsy, you guys. Let me drink some water. I gotta focus, though. Put her in B. Yeah, that was a big overrate. That was a big overhype. But she's in a really good deck. So we'll give her B+. She can be played in the best purple deck, and the best purple deck is scary as hell. Okay, we have another card that we cannot possibly ignore the power level of. Is this an S tier card? I almost think that's an S tier card right there. Maybe not, because it's not good in every situation. But it might be purple's very best card. Otherwise, Devil Trigger might be an S tier card. I think one of those two cards has got to move up to S tier, and I don't know which one it's going to be. Alright, we'll leave it for now, but in the deck we've been talking about, like the boogeyman of the meta for me, that is the strongest card in the deck. Party Girl Morgan isn't really super good because she costs so much life, and there's nothing really she synergizes with. You can use Tenkuha to try and kill big with her, but you can't really give her fight very well anymore. She's like a D tier card, like for real. Dante might be a tiny bit better than that. I'm like looking at the time and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to hurry up because I need to go see Sonic the Hedgehog at 6:30. I need to hurry and get through these tier lists as fast as possible. This is taking too long. Alright, I'll try to focus you guys and make things go faster. Daigo, we talked about Bringer Nightmares. Bringer isn't super relevant, but it's still a great card. It's better than Cammy. It's a really good card, at least in its own right. We'll give it B+ just for B. I'm kind of coping, right? I'm kind of coping. It's like a B tier card because it's not very good right now. Sigma is solid. He's also a B tier card. There's going to be a lot of cards in B, it looks like. Well, let's move some things down. Cammy's not super relevant. Batsu's actually very relevant. Yeah, let's be a little more scrutinizing. Okay. I was like thinking, could Batsu move any higher? But I think he's fine there. This guy's funny. This guy's good. The Young Again transfer Oro. This guy's like kind of okay. I don't know if he's like what tier he goes to, but he's kind of okay. He's not in the aggro deck though. The aggro Shadowblade deck. He's in like. He might be in the Choral Orchestra deck. It's really slow. But it's the best card we put in B so far, that's for sure. So many mid-tier cards are in this little batch. Rajang, not the most relevant thing right now. I'm gonna give it the top of C, because who are you really beating with Rajang? Maybe like black players are prepared for it. Purple players are gonna out aggro you in the other lanes. Green players are very prepared for it. I don't think it's at the top of the tier list or anything like that. I think I'm underrating a lot of stuff, though. Charlie Nash, we're going to just give an S tier. Is he an S tier card right now? He's not like the best card in the meta. He's A+ at least. What is Red's best legendary? Is it... Oh man, I'm getting ahead of myself. I want to rate some of the strongest cards. Is this Red's best legendary still? It was last season. Let's just give Charlie an S. He deserves it. I won't beat around the bush. Yeah, Rajang is not relevant, unfortunately. I love that card, though. Like, his home would be in Big Green, but Big Green you would rather, like, do anything other than Rajang at every moment, pretty much. Alright, we gotta rate some cards that belong to decks that aren't doing a whole lot right now. But this card is still incredible, so I think we give it A+. Honestly, I think it's still an A+ card. Just gonna be kind of low there in that rank tier. Is anybody still playing Red? Let's wait to get to him. Let's stop getting ahead of ourselves. Silver Samurai, the silveriest boy of them all. I've been playing this card a little bit. It's kind of okay in energy. It's kind of good in energy, even, because it can help you trigger your Fafnirs. That's kind of it, though. I don't know what else he's being used in, really. Kind of like a C-tier boy. He's a little better than Cammy, I think. Because Cammy's really not doing it this season. Is Cammy really this bad? She kind of is. Right now, she kind of is. Too setup reliant. Not enough good combos for her. Alright, I don't even know what to say about Red. This is kind of one that, like, evades me. Only one deck can play Red, and it's the deck it was meant for. Celestial Envoy. C tier. Yeah, that's a harsh reality, but I think you're right. Well, it's better than Morrigan. I like C tier. C tier seems really accurate so far. Well, this is like the bottom of C tier. Well, Oracle probably has a deck that can use this card, but I think most people have missed the boat on this card. It had a cool combo last season, a season or two ago, with the Infinite Red deck, but it's a pretty dang slow card, exceptionally slow. All right, now this card is very relevant still. Is this played in Yawn? I don't think it is, but it's played in Tribes, and the card's really good. So we'll give it just a high A tier. Well, I guess it's not the best A tier card, and we should probably move Ryu up. There we go. That makes sense. See, putting him in A tier helps because then I realized that the other thing didn't belong there. Ugh, Hagenmer. This card is only good for cheese decks. This card is only good if you're good Mon-Sun. I play, like, some 2-unit decks, some 2-unit big green decks, and I don't play Hagenmer because he's you just really struggle to get this card to work. But he's not terrible. He's not, like, unplayable or anything. He's got, like, a power ceiling, and when he's on the board, he's going to take control of the game and threaten lethal really hard. So he does what he's meant to do really well. It's just a really bad season to be trying to do something like that. Alright, I love this card. This card is... Wait. Oh, so many interesting cards to talk about. So many strange cards. Alright, Perfect Partners is also still amazing. This card is pretty usable in Yawn, but some of the best Yawn players would swear that you shouldn't. And they're probably right. But it's still incredible. Still really amazing for the majority of us who are at the skill level we are at. If you're good enough to win without it, then your deck is probably better without it. But for most of us, this is going to be finding those opportunities to end the game that we otherwise would need. And it's a good unexpected way to cheese your way out. I'm just talking about Yawn here, where it can be played. But if you're playing Tribes, it's an auto-include, and it's your best card. And I play Tribes, so I'm going to give it a low A+ at the very least. Oh, you tried it, it's not worth it at all. Talking about Surprise Cactus Party. Okay, we have more analysis. More information has been uncovered. We'll leave it about at the level of Blood Destiny, because it's got an okay effect. But a hella hoop to jump through. Alright, now we have a card that's good, really solid in a vacuum, but its deck is, like, dead. Green-purple is dead. It got deleted from the game. So you can't play it in green-purple, and there's Blackout. There's Breakaway. Breakaway Big Mushroom still exists. But it's hurt really bad by Yawn. So I don't think that this card is super relevant. I think this is kind of a waste of a deck slot at the moment. I don't know if there's a lot that you're doing with that. I'll be nice. I'll be nice. It's not terrible. Frost Walrus, is this, like, doing anything right now? Let me think. I saw, one of the TEPLORD's Code posted a really cool deck. I'm pretty sure he was playing the Frosty Boy. I'll give him the C, and we'll give this the D. Alright. Back to talking about good cards. I mean, should I talk a little bit more about this? It can't summon Ibuki. They buffed Ibuki, but you can't summon Ibuki. And there are new cards to use for energy. Admittedly, there is some new cool stuff. I mean, for memory. A lot of those Explore cards are pretty okay with memory. So memory's not unplayable. It should be higher than these bottom tier cards. Hagenmer should be a little higher too. And let's move Chun up a little bit. Okay. Gotta have self-control. It ain't easy. There's no reason to play memory right now. He's F tier. Oh no. Admittedly, I kind of see where you're coming from. And that's an expensive card. 8 MP. I mean, that's an expensive card. I kind of agree. I kind of don't think memory is making it happen right now. Should we give this the bottom of... Well, let's move the kitty up a tiny bit. Alright, I think that's harsh but accurate. I hate to say it, but yeah, those cards are not really cutting the mustard. And now we can talk about Zamtrios. This is a card that's finally came into its own a little bit. On release, this card was like, obviously people were excited for it. Summoning Eddie E was cool, but then quickly it kind of like was like getting sort of cut to just play Osric, the big board wipe on a body. Osric was like the star of the show and started being the only one of the legendaries that you play. But now the script is kind of flipped now that there exists a deck called Ouroboros that can finally do what they probably designed this card for. I think it was designed pretty well to fit into this standard block, this card. And it's really strong. He costs too much, and even with Drina minus 2 MP, he doesn't hit the whole board anymore. He doesn't hit the whole hand anymore. Oh. She doesn't hit the whole hand. Oh, yeah. I guess it's kind of a struggle to play the deck. I haven't played it myself, but there was a chatter who made it look really strong. But I think your analysis seems fair. I might give it the bottom of C, but for now it's going to be the top of D. The Zamtrios, though. The Zamtrios is a monster nightmare. The only question is if you can really get your build to focus around him. He's a bit high roll, but this is the card that ends the game in Ouroboros. I want to give it a low A+, if I'm being honest. Well, we'll give it the top A. A+ makes it look like it's, like, really competing as part of the meta. Osric, still really good, but it's not in Ouroboros. It's not in... it's in Despair Whale Parish, so yeah, we'll give it an A. We'll give them both A. And then purple is a nightmare to deal with. Purple is a monster. We're giving this a high purple-y ranking. Great Escape, letting you reset, bounce back out of any bad situation, and still be winning off of any situation. The players who are really good with this will have actual plans for how to use it, but I just see it happen and I know that I messed up. So we're going to give that a really high S tier placement. This was my Blaze Blue main, you guys. This song belongs to my Blaze Blue main. I wasn't very good, though. But Ibuki was cool. I mean, I don't remember his name, even. He's like the male Ibuki, if I'm being honest. Alright, anyway. I'm trying to think of what this girl's name was. Kimberly. I don't remember the name of her card, but Kimberly is only okay. I think that there's just not enough room in Antibody. I said this before Zamtrios even released, but the fact that he copies the units will always make him good. Yeah, that really does set the card apart from older cards like Felicia that would like fetch them. Really crazy design, really overpowered. But it's balanced by the deck it belongs to being very slow. The card itself is great though, so we gotta pay a little bit of respect. Kimberly is not really included in most antibody decks, so we're gonna give her B. Well, let's be honest. She's got a high power level. Alright, this card is a nightmare. This is the best card in Despair Whale Parish, in my opinion. I think this goes above antagonists. I think that this is one of the cards that makes Despair Whale Parish really relevant, makes it something that you gotta, like, take seriously, that you can't mess around with. Like, this is better than Osric, definitely. The amount of value that you get when you hit it, and you're always going to hit it because you're going to be playing around it to set it up. It's too good. Maybe that's a little bit of an overrate, but the card's really good. Sorry, guys. I'm a little tired. Doing these tier lists is actually more tiring than streaming the game is, I think. So let me just drink some water real quick. Okay. Next we have the trusty Coach Luke, I think, something like that. I wish I was better at the names. This one is pretty good still. I think this one sees more play than Kimberly. And he's harder to deal with. Like, the -1 damage, there's so many times that I forget about the -1 damage and I lose the game because of it. It's kind of a dumb way to lose, but the card itself is, like, big momentum. Great card for Antibody. I think that I have to give it a little better than Feline, because Feline's not in the best decks, and Luke is in pretty solid decks. Yeah. Luke should be pretty high. Chun-Li. This card's great now. I slept on this card. I thought it still wouldn't be that good. But it's just a universal answer, and I mean, it feels bad when you get hit by it, then you gotta deal with it as well. She's a threat. She's very well-rounded. Even if you don't get both effects, you can use this card to great effect. She was really popular in Yawn for a second. Luke has definitely gotten better. Luke is killer good. Luke is a card that ends the game. People have gotten better at using him, especially. This Chun-Li is an easy A-tier card. Even if people are starting to cut it, this is still a fantastic card. I think I'll put it just under Luke. And Luke is going to be probably the number 1 A-tier card. Alright, more OP green cards that are just able to beat anything. Madly Charging Trio, I think, as green has gotten even stronger. Did my music stop? Okay. Yay, Cat Carnival! Alright, anyway. Meow, 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 meow. Alright, so Madly Charging Trio, the only answer green has to a couple of things. Specifically, oh, actually, no, what am I saying? Green can get away without playing this, but it opens up a lot of avenues. It opens up a lot of lines that to help to let you win. It helps you choke out games. It counters anything. But it is a little bit skillful, so maybe it's not an S-tier card. I think I'm going to put it about right there. Yeah, they buffed her, Oracle. She used to require both, but now she just requires one. Ooh, with the disappearance of Black Frenzy, Antibody has been prospering even more now since they don't have to worry about Black's random HP reductions. Yeah, there's a... I wonder if there's any other... I wonder if I should move Kimberly up or any of these other Red Explore cards. I like this song, sorry guys. This is probably the best Blaze Blue song. It's the one that brings the most joy to the people. The kitties be dancing. Anyway. This card got a lot better, actually. There's a really killer cheese deck that... Actually, it's not even a cheese deck. I'm pretty sure people are just playing Yawn and or Tribes, and their only target for this is to summon Yuri. It's not fair. If they hit that, it's game over. So we kind of have to respect that combo. That's a broken combo. That combo is at least as good as Amtrios. Not better than Chun-Li. Yeah, that seems right. Feelin's not really doing that much. He's just good. There's so many times where changes happen and I don't realize them. Like, for example, that little red guy, that little guy that got buffed to 3 that explores for Rising Temper, Raging Tremor. He also does 1 damage to the field now, rather than just the unit in front of him. It used to just be the unit in front of him, and it was manageable. It was ignorable, but now that it's the whole field, it's, like, always annoying. Let's keep going. I got 30 minutes to rank the rest of these cards. And then I gotta get ready for the movie. That's why we're streaming early, because I'm going to see Sonic. Sorry, I'll stop singing along to the instruments and the music. Alright, Jamie, he's fine. He's not in the strongest purple deck. He's in fact in the worst purple deck. But the card itself is great. And completely generic, so he's got nothing but potential for people to experiment with him. I say he's completely generic, but he does need... I guess he halts on his own, but he's really at his best when there's other stuff setting his halts up too. I'm gonna put it where I have Rathalos. Realistically, it should be a little lower. Jamie is C. No! I guess you're right, realistically. He's not even better than Rajang, is he? Let's see. Yeah, I guess this is fine. We'll keep putting stuff up there and see where it ends up. Yo, check this out has gotten really good. Purple seems really good. People have been experimenting with this more. I've been losing to this card more. I don't know if that rank 1 list that's really breaking the game plays this card. But I think it does. Except it's an aggro deck. I don't know if it plays that card or not. We're going to give it an A tier placement for now, at least. Damn, this card is so cool, so strong. Is a honestly, in many ways, negative tier list. Did my thing just crash? Did my stream just crash? Oh my gosh, did stream crash? I hope not. I gotta hurry through this and get this done so I can go and, like, reflect on... It's a skill testing card, yeah, like Madly Charging on the same level. Similar card. Alright, sorry, I got worried that stream crashed. Let's put IFZ up here, the Infinite Fear Zombie. Still a great card. One of the cards that lets black do whatever it wants to. Black doesn't have to respect Yuri. Okay. Sorry guys, I'm getting all frizzled. I was worried that chat crashed. I was worried stream crashed. Let's just give IFZ... Ostrich is this high because of Despair. IFZ is probably in Despair. We'll give him the top of B+. JP, though. JP I want to give a really high ranking to. This is easily an A+ tier card. Maybe even a low S. Because JP has just got... I don't know if he's that good. But in a vacuum, on his own, this is one of the strongest cards. And he's gotten really powerful with Strewn Wreckage. Although I suppose the decks that are doing Strewn Wreckage JP are not the strongest decks. But JP himself is amazing. He's not any lower than A+, without a doubt. I think this card goes about where Ryu is, if I'm being completely honest. And we'll move Yo check this out up. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Alright, the Flamey Flame Fists. This is a ridiculous card in... JP is S, he got better after rotation. I kind of feel like JP is S, yeah. I kind of think he's the only card that I would even consider giving S tier for black. Crazy guitar solos. Wham, 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 wham. Anyway. The Flaming Fists of Frenzy, I think, goes about where I just put it, yeah. You have to work for it, but it's a equalizer for a deck that never needed an equalizer. So it kind of works more as a card that chokes the game out than being an equalizer. Does it go any higher than this? Probably does, yeah. Alright, I think we move Madly Charging Trio up to the near the top there. Darn, I hate for Halt to rank so low. I love this deck. But it just sucks to play it this season. And this card doesn't really quite save it, I don't think. I think we give it the bottom of B. Even though this card is one of the strongest combo cards they've ever printed. One of the biggest stat-producing cards. Just insane. The other Fists of Fury card, I'm sorry that I'm not better at the card names, guys. I tried to look up some of the card names before stream and, like, study them a little bit, but then I was like, oh my gosh, this is so hard. I'm just gonna show up and, like, mess around. I don't need to, like, study. I know what the cards do and how good they are, at least. The names is really hard. Let's see, this card kind of is only okay. Kind of not great. Let me think. Hadoken I'm going to move up a little bit. Even if it's not being played, it's still a powerful card. This I'm kind of going to move down, yeah. It requires more work than the other Halt cards, so it shouldn't be a higher ranking just because it's stronger, theoretically. Halt is really bad right now. So it probably goes about that. Alright, now we can finally... we have one more. I Want to Be a Hero 2 is the green one. Yeah. Okay, wait, let's talk about I Want to Be a Hero 2. This card is not better than evasive action. It's just evasive action, but less consistent. And I want my evasive action to be consistent. Sometimes it's not evasive action. Sometimes it's a 2-cost Hakai. I mean, that's not what I want. Alright, now to talk about the really interesting cards. The cards that we've never talked about before. First Blood Dante. I've heard this card referred to as a noob trap. And I think it's kind of accurate. More like he's a Timmy trap. Like, I can't not play this card because it's so fun and cool. So big and exciting, and it has infinite potential. A board wipe in red? Are you kidding me? How can I possibly ever not play this? But I'm not trying to be, like, the strongest player on ladder. That's why I play it, because I'm not trying to be the best. And it's really fun. Man, this card rules. I don't want to give it less than B+. But it's pretty hard to get the bounce. I'm pretty bad at getting the bounce. It's kind of just a big beat stick in a lot of cases. Unless you're really, really smart. It is a noob trap. Yeah, I don't think it's going to get a B+. I think it's a B tier card. It's strong, though. It's flashy, and it does a lot. But it's very hard to... Oh my gosh, OBS keeps disconnecting. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, you guys, my stream keeps disconnecting. I'm kind of worried. I kind of, like, feel bad. I kind of feel like the stream might be worse than the last one was. Hopefully not. Hopefully that doesn't keep happening. Soon, Samuel. It's only a matter of time. Alright, let's put up Bonds of Trust Leon. Some people have said this is the new Ryu, and in a lot of ways it is the new Ryu, because it's more generic. It's more easy to get to the high impact. It's not quite the same as Ryu, but I see it a lot more than Ryu, so I think I'm going to put it just above him. I think I kind of have both placed a little high, though. Do I really have it placed too high? It is just better Ryu. Okay, yeah, I mean, it definitely seems like that. Like, the AP charge you get is so nuts. I mean, the 6 AP every turn attack cycle, it's completely out of hand. We've reached the death metal part of the BlazBlue playlist. It's Must Die, I think. Alright, we'll move stuff around a little bit. Fraternal Dispute, it's in a deck that I already said is kind of has a lot of weaknesses, but the card itself is really good. Really big impact. Gotta be a B+ card. Do we move this up? Batsu's really good. Batsu's very popular. Batsu's very solid. I think he's the bottom of A. Virgil. Nobody's playing Virgil. I hate to see this card be so low. Oh, he gets the AP charge on the destruction effect? Oh, so it happens, like, even more often. Alright, Virgil. He's a little too narrow. His bonus effect when you get the kill is cool, but he doesn't really have any big... There's no deck that he really pushes over the edge. He's okay. But he's situational. He's not as good as any of his old cards. Doesn't feel right in green. Virgil should be a purple card. We all know this. Just like Dante. Feels strange as red, but... That's kind of... I'm playing Virgil. I played Virgil for a while, too. But he's a little weird. I think that he gets a B placement. He's better than a lot of these cards we've placed, at least. Let's put him right next to Dante. Honestly, let's just put him right next to Dante. Alright, now this card is a nightmare. This is a nightmare card. Paying 10 MP for a card that gives you a bunch of MP back and blows up the field, I think it's worth it. And then it becomes the best beat stick in the format. It's very worth it. Crazy to think that he isn't even in the green Ascension because he messes up the Tiffany polls. Yeah, it's weird that they designed him that way. I did see the first week Kame-san put out a deck that played Virgil. So Kame-san might still play the card. It should probably be a little higher. But realistically, it lacks synergy with the decks that you want to play. We'll give it the bottom of B+, but I think it should be lower. Honestly, I don't believe in that placement. I believe this should be higher. This is a strong card. I think Fraternal Dispute's the best B+ card, but it's in a bad deck. I mean, not a bad deck, but a deck that is not the best deck. Alright, I've got like 20 minutes to finish this up. Let's see, Yuri is very strong. Yuri is completely game warping. I'm gonna give this an S tier card placement, I think. Nah, if I'm being honest, it's not quite an S tier card. It's really strong, but it's the best A+ tier card, if I'm being honest. Right? Because it's such a big investment. There are times where this is a bad thing to do, and where playing it in your deck is not correct. So I think I'm just going to give it the very, very top of A+, to reflect that. Beyond Time and Space, this card's so fucking cool. I can't even not swear. Yuri, I think it's just under S. I think I'm going to give it just under S. Who the hell am I kidding? No, I tried to notify you, Dizaj. I tried to send you that's why I tried to send you a message with notifications on Discord. Oh, no. I take some responsibility because I did this stream earlier than usual. Normally they're at 6, but this one was at 4 in my time zone. That's on me. I take full responsibility. I'm sorry, guys. It's because I'm going to go to see Sonic the Hedgehog and I have to prioritize my birthday fun. 'Cause it's my birthday tomorrow! Oh my god! Yay! So I couldn't not stream, because that's a fun thing for my birthday. But anyway. I'm gonna be 93. I'm gonna be 69 years old. Just like last year, when I was also 69 years old. And next year I'll also be 69 years old. It's this vicious cycle of age. Blame YouTube. Blame Canada, dude. Alright, let's get back on track. We've only got a couple cards left. Shall we retrieve you at 6? Okay. My plans are in motion. Sorry, I got distracted because I gotta make sure I still have my plan. Anyway, sorry guys, let me focus up. The last couple cards here. This Explorer Ada is such a cool design. This is like custom card flavor. It does damage equal to the amount of Explorers, and it dies and turns into another form. That is pure custom card flavor. So cool. I'm gonna give it a B+. It has Veil too. It's hard to deal with. Very solid, just not in the strongest deck. But in a very solid deck at the same time. Who am I kidding? This is the best B+ card. Sorry, this song has such a flippin' baller riff. Such a good fight riff. 6 heroes from BlazBlue. It's so awesome. Alright, this one is the one that's the board wipe. I don't remember exactly what it was named. But I think it's a little fair. I think that it's in Explore. Explore is kind of fair. Explore's not super fair. But this card, it bounces your own field as well. So it's kind of hard for it to be any better than a B+ tier card. I think we're going to put it above Dante, honestly. I'm going to put it below Dante. Let's move this guy down a little bit. This board wipe's only okay, if I'm being honest. Goes about right there. Alright, Mundus. Lock is awesome, but this card is not that awesome in Lock. It doesn't synergize with the game plan of Lock at all. I guess it works as a comeback mechanic. I played quite a bit of Lock to test it out and learn the deck. and it does struggle to close matches, so this guy kind of is there as a way to come back from those matches that you would otherwise not be closing out. But otherwise, he doesn't do anything that the deck wants to do, and he doesn't really help you win from that position. He just kind of is a comeback mechanic. It's kind of a little flawed, honestly. Like, it's similar to Hinata, but Hinata it's like the full package. It's well put together. The Explorer board bounce is not good right now. The way that deck operates, it just delays the inevitable. Ooh, the way these decks operate, like, you don't want to bounce Yawn, you're saying? I think it might be the best C-tier card, then. Alright, let's see. There's only a couple cards left. The God Machine Oinari. The God Car Machine Oinari. I don't remember his subtitle, but his normal name is already so cool that why would you give him a different name? Mundus is garbage, D-tier. Oh, heck. I feel the same way. I wanted to give Mundus a low rating, but I felt like it was too rude of me to do. Mundus lacks synergy. He does not serve paper at all. Yeah. Thank you, Oracle, for helping me speak my heart. Because Mundus is a bit of a poser. He wants you to think he's the boss monster of purple and that he's doing important things. But he's really just, like, wasting space in the deck. That could be more combo cards. Bottom of C. I don't want to be so sacrilegious. I love the Honesty Oracle, but I think I should try to not offend some people. I think people might be like, dude, you're being too negative if I give that a D. I think it's okay. Isn't Mundus the end of the Elder Scrolls games? I've only played the beginning of Skyrim like a dozen times. The part where you wake up and the guy's like, well, aren't you a traveler or something? And then you go and see the dragons. The part of the game that sucks. That's the only part I've ever played, if I'm being honest. Oh my gosh, I love this card. I'm so glad he's back. Wait, I gave this an A+ tier? Alright, let's talk about Beyond Space and Time. It's scary. The shields are great. But I don't know what this card is doing, necessarily. It's good in big green. Really good in big green. Let's give it the bottom of B+. I don't really know where that card goes. That's kind of a mysterious card. Give him D, he sucks. Alright, Oracle. You rock. Give him D, he sucks. I love chat just screaming, give him D. Alright, the metal is here for the most metal card we're gonna rate. Sorry. The Evil Strider. He's really good. He's only in an okay deck, though. I give him A. I give him better than Chun. Almost as good as Luke. D-Zudge, do you like Luke? I think that's a total hottie. Since you're always here and you always talk about the hot man, do you like Luke? I think he's a total frickin'... I like his dumb himbo-iness. Anyway. Strider is A+, by the way. I can see it. Wasn't there another black card to rank? Oh yeah, Oinari. I think Oinari is the one I give... Man, these are both really good cards. The God Car Machine and Strider are both really good. Alright, Strider can be at the very bottom of A+ there. Oinari is like one of the only ways that every day... Nope, he looks very punchable. But that's part of his appeal. We just have different taste in boys. Like, I've talked at length about how I think Jamie's really hot, and he's really hot. And I don't think you would like Jamie. Which is why I didn't ask about Jamie. Because I know you would say, ew. He's a twig. Sconty Poo, I'm late. But that's it's okay. I did it, I streamed quite a bit earlier than usual. Because I'm going to go see Sonic 3 in theaters. I'm excited for Shadow to shoot people with his Glock. And to enter the Matrix. I'm sure he does both. Anyway, let's finish rating these cards, folks. I got about 15 minutes before I need to start getting ready to skedaddle out of here. Alright. I'm gonna be honest. Oracle, I think I swapped these two cards. I think Strider is the best A-tier card. Ah, he's really good, though, if I'm being honest. No, Kyosuke is the best card. LP 999 is definitely up there, but Kyosuke is the best card. That said, LP should move up a spot or two. Kyosuke is the card that beats everything else in the meta. It makes whatever you're doing irrelevant. It ends the game. Although LP also makes whatever you're doing. It's also a board wipe, but it's less efficient. It's less sudden and less game-winning. It's amazing, but it's not as good as Kyosuke. Okay, let's see. There's one last card to rank. It's I'm Not the Hunter, or I'm the Hunter Now. It's not great, if we're being honest. It's pretty good in Sacrifice, but that's the only deck it's good in, obviously. The condition is just kind of rough. You see Strider more than the Godcar machine? I see Strider a lot too, but I feel like the car machine, God car machine, is the one that's like it's a board wipe. Like, that's the one thing that green really fears, is the O machine. It counters Cacti a lot better than Strider does. Like, one of the things that you're losing the game against as black is going to be Cacti, and maybe we just give them both the ranking? I think they both kind of get up there, yeah. Not if you know when to boost Yuri just right. Yeah, realistically, Yuri is probably better than Kyosuke. But at that very top level, players are cutting Yuri just to play Kyosuke. So there is a reason that Kyosuke ranks higher. I think that Kyosuke is the better card, even though it is a hot take. Yuri's obviously the more broken thing here. If we're talking about which card is more broken and less well designed, it would be Yuri. The one that like warps games in like a bizarre direction, the one that introduces variability, that's Yuri. And these are all things that certain top players don't want. They don't want higher variability. They want things to be consistent, which is why Kyosuke is the better card. So now that we've got everything up here, let's kind of go see how we did. Sorry for the fast scroll there. Let's see if this all looks right. I think that this S tier, I think I have it exactly how I want it in S tier. I don't think I'm moving anything in S tier. I think Kyosuke is the best card. I made a case for it. Devil Trigger is the game ender in the best purple deck. It requires an answer, and Kyosuke is the best answer. But otherwise, it's a card that wins the game. No matter the board state, Devil Trigger wins the game. And the best players will only use it when it wins the game. They gave green a Destroy. Of course it's design breaking. Yeah, what a weird card. Question. I've got an answer. Anyway, let's scroll through here and see if we did good. So I can start wrapping up and heading off to do my things. I'll tweet this out. Does blocking damage via shields count as taking damage and surviving? No, it doesn't. If only. That would be really helpful. that would have made energy a lot better. All right, let me just triple check, double check, triple double check. I think I like the A+ tier column as well. These are like the game enders, the cards that really choke out the game. When you get hit by one of these, it's probably going to be the end of the game. But it's not always universal. Ooh, this kind of seems a little higher, doesn't it? These are the cards that answer anything. These are the cards that end every game. These are the best cards. A tier cards, still really good, but you know, they're a little more situational or require a little more to get to them. Like this Zamtrios is more broken than anything else if you can make it work, but you know, it requires deck building sacrifices and a full empty field, so you know, these cards are more situational, broken as they are. Kind of overrating this Ada, I think, but only slightly. Now, those of you that are left here with me, taking damage being reduced to 0, taking damage for 0 counts. That's really interesting. Those of you who are still here with me as we're wrapping up, I thank you. I thank all of you who came out. But this is the least. I have few things left to entertain you with. We're just going to be going back over and double checking our work. Let's make sure we got everything in the right places. And then we're going to end stream and I'll tweet these tier lists out. And I'm going to go see Sonic 3 in theaters. I'm really excited. Anyway, sorry for being so distracted. Fraternal might be a little overrated here. I'll leave it at B+. It's really awesome. It's a really awesome card. Let me see. You think that Schoolyard Royale should be a bit higher? Antagonists? I can put it above Leon. Higher than that, and I'm not so sure. It's really broken, but it's the only reason I don't have it higher is because the best green player, Thirsty Games, is not playing it in his list, and he gave a whole thesis on why it's not necessary. But I think I can keep it where I have it. It's a really good card. So let's just double check these last couple rows here, and then I'm gonna save this and head off, and I'll wish you guys a good night. Let me just double check this last row. That's below Rajang. Let's be honest. Rajang deserves that top spot in C. This could be a little lower. Kami could be a little higher. Hawkemer could be a little higher. Alright. Sorry I get so in the weeds about it, you guys. I just like to make sure it reflects my true feelings. This guitar solo rips so hard, oh my god. Oh my gosh, why is Forbidden Game in D? This card's amazing. There's a good reason that we double checked this stuff. Forbidden Game, that's gonna go right up to A+, if I'm being honest. Yeah, we'll just keep it simple and put it right there. Makes perfect sense. Alright. Dante makes sense there. I think these are all correct. I could move this up a little bit, because it's funny. Because I've had a lot of fun with it this season. And... oh, is he really the worst D tier card? Basically. Alright, I think that's a completed tier list. It was just as frazzle-dazzled as I expected it to be. Download image. And then we'll go take a look at the other tier list again and see if we did that right, too. Download image, please. And we actually got a pretty good bell curve this time. Maybe. Regardless. Let's check out this one last time. Best deck is Yawn, second best Shadow Blade. This is how I feel. This is truly how I feel, yes. Alright, I think it's about time that we wrap it on up. Stuff that's more threatening. Stuff that's a little more efficient. Just a little bit more efficient. I think he's pretty bad. But with all that said, I don't know if I think I might have gotten cut off there. I think that this stream was a little more sus than the last one. I'm gonna be honest. But I had a lot of fun, and I did what I came out here to do. So, if you guys felt like this was a good stream, if you enjoyed watching, be sure to leave a comment down below and let me know if you liked it. Otherwise, I don't know if I'm gonna do another one. These are always a little funky. I had fun though, so I hope you guys did too. Thank you to everybody who came out. I'll be sure to return to my regular time next time at 6:30 or 7. So I'll see you all then next week. Have yourselves a wonderful night, and I'll see you next time. As always, I'm Sconchulous. Please like the video if you liked the video. Subscribe if you subscribed. Have a good night.